Imagine for a moment the world's most valuable private collection of art, masterpieces by Rembrandt, Vermeer, Manet, Degas, all gone, vanished. Not in a fiery blaze or a dramatic collapse, but in a quiet, calculated act of theft that remains to this day the largest unsolved art heist in history. For over 3 decades, 13 priceless works have been missing, a gaping void in the heart of Boston's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. But what if the story we've been told is just the surface? What if the real mystery isn't just who took the art, but why we haven't found it yet? What if there's a reason nobody wants you to know the full truth? To understand this extraordinary vanishing act, we have to go back to the early hours of March 18, 1990. The setting is the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, Massachusetts. This isn't just any museum, it's a meticulously preserved mansion designed by its eccentric founder, Isabella Stewart Gardner, to display her vast and eclectic collection exactly as she envisioned it. Every painting, every sculpture, every piece of furniture was placed with deliberate intent. It was and still is a personal universe of art, a sanctuary of beauty and order. On this particular night, the city of Boston was still buzzing from St. Patrick's Day celebrations. The streets were quieter than usual at 1:24 a.m. when a faded red hatchback pulled up to the museum's side entrance. Two men dressed in police uniforms, complete with hats and fake mustaches, stood in the dim light. They rang the intercom. Inside, security guard Richard Abath, a 23-year-old local rock musician, was on duty alongside his colleague Randy Heist. Abath, by his own later admission, wasn't exactly a stellar security guard. He'd been known to smoke pot on the job and had a casual approach to procedure. This night, he did something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. He opened the side door. The officers claimed they were responding to a report of a disturbance. Abath, seeing the uniforms, believed them. He buzzed them in. What happened next wasn't a routine police check. It was the beginning of an elaborate charade, a carefully orchestrated move that would change the museum forever. The officers immediately took control, asking Abath if anyone else was in the building. He told them about Heist, who was in the basement monitoring surveillance cameras. Within moments, the two guards were handcuffed, their mouths and eyes taped, and led to the museum basement. The next 81 minutes would see an unprecedented act of cultural vandalism unfold. The thieves, now alone in the historic halls, began their work with a chilling precision that suggested intimate knowledge of the museum's layout and its most valuable pieces. They didn't just grab every piece they could, they targeted specific works. They cut two Rembrandt canvases, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee and A Lady and Gentleman in Black, directly from their frames. This was a brutal act, damaging the paintings in a way that suggests either a lack of artistic appreciation or an urgent need for portability. They also took Rembrandt's smallest known landscape etching, Self-Portrait with a Feathered Beret. From the Dutch room, Vermeer's The Concert, one of only 34 known Vermeers in the world, was meticulously removed. Manet's Chez Tortoni, a small, elegant oil painting, also vanished. A priceless Chinese bronze guy from the Shang dynasty, an ancient eagle finial from a Napoleonic flag, and several sketches and watercolors by Degas were meticulously selected. Oddly, they left behind other, arguably more valuable masterpieces, raising immediate questions about their motives. Were they art experts or merely following a shopping list? And why was Abath given special instructions to walk to a specific window and check for something before being cuffed? A detail that would later fuel intense suspicion about his involvement. The guards were eventually discovered by the Morning Watch, tied up in the basement, hours after the thieves had made their clean getaway. The FBI swarmed the museum, and the investigation began. The immediate focus, of course, was on the two security guards. While Randy Heist was quickly cleared, Richard Abath faced intense scrutiny. His unusual actions, opening the door against protocol, the specific instruction he received, and the fact that the thieves initially handcuffed him with an old pair of handcuffs found in the security office cabinet, rather than their own, painted a suspicious picture. Yet, despite repeated interrogations and polygraphs, Abath was never charged. He maintained his innocence, claiming he was simply young and naive. But the shadow of doubt has never truly left him. Over the years, the FBI pursued countless leads. Theories multiplied. Was it the work of sophisticated international art thieves, perhaps connected to the IRA, using the art as bargaining chips? This theory gained traction due to rumors of stolen art being traded for reduced sentences for Irish Republican prisoners. Or was it simpler, a job orchestrated by local Boston mobsters looking for a quick score? James Whitey Bulger, Boston's notorious gangster, was often mentioned, though no direct link was ever proven. Later, the FBI officially named the deceased gangster Robert Guarente as a suspect, alleging he had possession of some of the works. They further stated that the art had changed hands through several mob figures before being transported to Connecticut and the Philadelphia area. Stephen Rakes, a gangster who claimed to have information about the Gardner heist, was found dead of arsenic poisoning shortly before he was due to speak with federal prosecutors in 2013, adding another layer of grim intrigue to the case. The FBI even pointed fingers at another mob-affiliated criminal, David Turner, and his associate George Reisfelder, asserting that the art ended up in Philadelphia, hidden in various locations. But still, no art recovered. Adding to the baffling nature of the crime, the thieves also took an ancient Chinese bronze beaker from the courtyard gallery, an object of great historical value but not a typical target for art thieves. They shattered the glass on an empty frame that once held a small self-portrait by Rembrandt, seemingly for no reason other than to be destructive. And stranger still, they ignored other, more easily accessible and equally valuable works. The precise yet bizarre selection of items continues to perplex investigators. It suggests a complex motive, perhaps not just monetary gain. Was it a specific commission, a bizarre trophy collection, or a message encrypted within the theft itself? The Gardner Museum, with its empty frames hanging defiantly on the walls, remains a silent testament to the audacity of the thieves and the enduring failure to recover the stolen treasures. A $10 million reward stands for information leading to the art's safe return, yet after 3 decades, the frames remain bare. Each empty space is a question mark, a gaping wound in the museum's heart. The true genius of the heist wasn't just the execution, but the absolute void it created, a void that, despite endless investigation, remains unfilled. What were the real motives of the thieves? Who ultimately profited, if anyone? And why, with all the resources of the FBI, has not a single piece resurfaced in over 30 years? The answers to these questions lie buried in the shadows, creating a chilling silence around one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the art world. To this day, the Gardner heist stands as a monumental enigma, a crime that changed everything, yet revealed almost nothing. If you want more stories of audacious heists, the next video explores the mystery of the Amber Room, a treasure that vanished into the chaos of war.